Hey everyone, it's December 26th. We got a little update on the DJT. Wanted to get into this and update this chart in the analysis. So recently we could see that we pulled back to this 50-day moving average, pulled back to this 20-day and 50-day moving average region. We're reclaiming the year-to-date volume weighted average price low. So here's the low for the year that we rallied above. We're reclaiming it. Our year-to-date volume weighted average price, where we have this anchor, is right here, is at this 3460 area. So we have the year-to-date high, the year-to-date price, and the year-to-date low all coinciding and stacked, and with the average buyer of year-to-date in control right now. So the year-to-date average seller is losing, the year-to average dip buyer from the low is winning, and the year-to average buyer is currently winning as price is trading above the 3460 area. We have the all-time high as this blue anchor VWAP here. We could see the all-time high price that acted once we broke down, acted as support, acted as resistance, and then we could see our data from the 200-day moving average. We had the declining 200-day moving average rally, a failure into that decline. Okay, we could start to see the slope of this 200-day moving average right up in here start to rise with this rising 20-day and 50-day moving average. And this is where we got involved last year in December for this push up with this trend alignment. Okay, this looks very similar to Rumble right now, and we'll dive into that after this analysis. So what I'm liking about this chart is that we had this recent rally of 365% into that into that all-time high anchor. So many people may have got excited as it was breaking above, right? But after a 365% rally, they got punched in the face if they were breaking that. Now we have this nice little cup and handle pattern here, and you can see this bottom pattern, right? And we've been creating another cup and handle. We're starting to break out of that neckline, retest it. So all that means is we went from lower lows and lower highs to now higher highs and potentially higher lows. So that brings us over to the 30-minute time frame now. And let's get rid of these pivot points to clean this up. And here we have the intermediate time frame. So we have a VWAP from this low. Okay, and we can see that this recent pullback to that year-to-date volume weighted average price low on the daily time frame right here has caught. So we're going to see if this VWAP has and holds significance. We could see the 5-day moving average was declining as this dip failed. This dip rallied into the month to date, and we're breaking above. So ideally, what would be great to see over the next couple days, actually tomorrow, is just a little pullback to this 35, that week to date volume weighted average price, rally back up, and then by Monday, Tuesday, we're up into this 40 area. Okay, and then a lot of people wanting to buy this breakout of 40, we could sell into them, de-risk, and ideally, price would then pull back as we break above this, rally back, start to reclaim, and then we can start to see that all-time high volume weighted average price start to act as support. So ideally, then it would look something like this. So this is we'll just do it on the 30-minute time frame, still declining. And then ideally, we get the evidence of the chart that this, we'll just make this dashed because it's the anticipated dash. We'll make it a little thicker. So ideally, this then rallies up, gets people to excited as it breaks above 40. It had this huge run, 16%. So then it could pull back, rally back above, reclaim this 40, and then really get going back up into potentially this next band of $50, and then maybe even back into the 62.05. So that's the analysis on DJT, what I'm looking for. If this 34 level breaks up in this area, this 35, 34 area breaks month-to-date VWAP, then and one thing I like about this too is as we start to drop off, and then next Monday we'll be here. So if we get a shakeout and rally, our 5-day moving average is actually going to start to flatten out and rise. So we have a textbook set up that we have a rally to a new high above this flat to rising 5-day moving average. So as this pulls back by in the trading session tomorrow, the open, we add this data 10:30 by 10:30 we're trading here. By 11:30 a.m. we're trading right here. So by 11:30 a.m. we're trading at this month to date volume average price at 35.54, and if we flush out and by 11:30 or back above, that data on the 5-day moving average will be higher and the direction will be rising. So then potentially we could look to set something up here that we get this pullback, get back above the daily VWAP and this 3-day VWAP, and maybe cheat the 2-day. So then we have the stop underneath 35.20 and looking to get in at 36.78. So it's $1.20, $1.30 risk for potential pushback up to 30.40, which is about $3 move, $4 move, and then that continuation potentially back to squeeze up into this 62. If this level breaks down here, then ideally we maybe see a potential further decline back into that $30 price level, where the level 30 could then act as support. So potentially then pull back into here, tag this $30 level, and then we may end up actually getting trapped underneath that 20 and 50-day moving average and getting stuck underneath the volume weighted average prices. So maybe that's a shakeout and we could recover again and reclaim 34 and then get going. So these are just not predictions. They're just potential scenarios where we can monitor and identify risk setups. So potentially, if maybe this flushes out, if this doesn't rally back up quick, then maybe it's going to be poised for a little bit further decline. If we shake out a little bit and can rally right back above, this will continue to flatten out then this 5-day. So just keep in mind that just because it flushes out doesn't mean it's immediately over. The 5-day moving average data drops off. So by Tuesday next week, if we're down here, then it's most likely poised to see further decline. So just wanted to go over a little RUM trade and how I said it looked very similar to that DJT trade from last year. Is that slope on this 200-day moving average is declining. You can see on the daily time frame this green line, right? All these dips just failed. All these dip buyers failed and then actually created new lows. So now we got this nice curl. We're reclaiming the year-to-date volume weighted average price and the low. And we just see that we rallied, broke out of this resistance, reclaimed that 20-day moving average and started to push. So our system got triggered up in here on the gap above this 5-day moving average. And we took a cheat entry here with an entry down up in this at 793 with a stop under 680, under the 684. This is 686, but the stop was 684, 2 cents underneath this low. So you can see it almost got triggered. It didn't. And we got rewarded for putting the risk on. So this was a nice 142% gain. So perhaps maybe this is going to continue running, or what I'll be looking for on Rumble is to get a little pullback down to this 1238, maybe back to that 5-day moving average, start to consolidate, and then get going again. So that 5-day moving average starts to rise, and we get some type of setup like this. So a 5-day moving average, get this pullback to the 5-day, don't buy the dip, don't buy the dip, get the strength after this dip, and then we can look to make a play at this 14 area with a stop under this 1240. So it's like $1.60 to then make a push from 14 back into 16 to $2, and then potential push for us to get back into these all-time highs at 18, maybe $20. So this can just continue going. It's innocent till proven guilty. If we start to break underneath this 16, most likely poised to come back to this 1325, 1238, where I'm expecting to see some buyers in this area hold, and this area start to act as support. So we have this rally, carve out a higher low, get going again into that $20 level. Hopefully this was helpful. If you like this kind of analysis, please like and subscribe, and enjoy your night.